So let's start with the 50-year mortgages. What does that mean for homeowners?
Okay, so typically when you're taking out a mortgage, the traditional benchmark time that you have to pay off that mortgage is 30 years. So I've been kind of crunching the numbers to figure out if you do a 50-year mortgage, is that going to save you money? And here's what this looks like if you look at a monthly basis.
Okay.
Your typical monthly payment on a $400,000 home loan, that's about the median priced home in the U.S. for a 50-year mortgage, $2,800. At a 30-year mortgage, this is at today's interest rates.
Okay.
It's about $3,000, almost $3,100. So you are saving close to $250 with this option every month.
Okay.
But as you said, you're paying this off over a lot longer time, so that means you're paying more interest. Look how much more interest, Kira, you're paying over 50 years and 30 years. $816,000 in interest versus $400,000. I mean, still a lot of interest, basically. So the argument against this is that you're ending up paying way more money to your bank. Your lenders.
I was going to say the banks are going to be happy. The lenders are going to be thrilled.
Exactly. That's sort of, while it might mean a little bit short-term gain, over the long term, you are making more money for your bank than you might be for yourself.
All right, cool. So if y'all ain't been paying attention, they basically getting rid of the credit score game. They basically getting rid of the credit score game. If you had half a brain, you should have seen that this was coming. If you had half a brain, you should have never really gave a damn about the credit score anyway. I keep telling y'all, bro, ain't no such thing as free money. That's what a lot of people mess up with the credit card game, with the debt game. This is pretty much a bailout for the American people. I'm going to say it like that. And when I say the American people, y'all know what I mean by the American people. It ain't for the hood, because the hood, the credit thing was to jam up the hood. But not everybody credit is jammed up. So now they got to do away with it. Everybody credit since this COVID, since these tariffs, everybody is in the game. So now they doing away with the credit game. And now they about to hit people with these 50-year mortgages, which is basically lifetime rentals. That's all that is. Is nobody is getting over. Everybody like, oh man, so credit don't matter no more. Credit, yeah, but now it's a 50-year mortgage. That means you got to live 50 years after you get the house to quote unquote own it, which you never really own it, because they're gonna hit you with these taxes. And by the time you finish paying that house off in those 50 years, and you end up retiring, and you don't have no way to make any type of reoccurring revenue, then, you know, the state taxes and all that does is going to get you up out your house. It's basically a lifetime rental if you can afford the rental. Now, oh man, but the banks ain't going to make no money off that. The banks done already bought up all this shit. The money done already been made. So if the banks done bought a piece of property for 50K and they end up charging you $24K a year to stay there, after 2 years, the bank done made their money back. Now the bank got you locked in to the same piece of property for the next 48 years. If you can survive those 48 years, the bank don't give a damn what happened to the rest of the market. The rest of the market go up and people paying $3,000 a month over here. People paying. The bank done already made their money. So it's good on one end if you can find a good deal in a good place somewhere. But you got to understand it's a lifetime rental. You ain't going to be able to pass that shit down. That shit going to be like Section 8. It's going to be like Section 8. You can't pass down Section 8. It's just going to be a little longer, a little more secure. And then you got to understand taxation and inflation, that's going to get you up out the paint. So when you try to bunker down taxation and inflation, it's going to get you out the paint. Your job is not going to be secure for 50 years. AI damn near taking away everybody's job now. So whatever job you get, to get the man, when they want to get you, they going to get you, bro. They want to get you, they going to get you. When you play the credit game, you play yourself. If you can't outright afford some cash, then, you're playing yourself, man. There's no such thing as free money. The borrower will always be slave to the lender. Now, they just solidifying slave debt. They just solidifying slave debt. I like that little interview I watched Donald Trump do where he tried to spruce it up. And he said, what's the big deal? 40-year loan to 50-year. Lady said, no, nigga, you know it was 30. What you mean 40 to 50? He tried to cut 10 off of it. No, y'all literally doubling the amount of time that people got to have these mortgages. And even when it was 30, it was kind of dicey. Most people weren't finna keep their jobs for 30 years. But at least when it was 30, you could pay your car, you could pay your house off and at least have 20 years to live in that bitch retired. You had a chance of passing it down to your children when it was 30. When you ain't got no chance in hell of owning that shit. They already told you, people gonna rent and they gonna like it. So now they figuring out ways to have you renting without you realizing that you renting. This the shit I talk about in my, man. This the shit I be talking about in my books, bro. This is a perfect definition of tricking off on the tricking. This is some hellified game on folks dropping, bro. This is some hellified game on folks dropping with them 50-year mortgages, bro. Man, it's a player shit, bro. It's a player shit. And this is why I be telling people, we got to understand, whatever things is on the surface, yeah, the surface level do matter. You gotta approach that, but you gotta be able to go. You gotta be able to go beneath the surface so you can fully understand what's going on. Because if somebody can keep you stuck on the surface level, you'll miss every damn thing, bro. You'll miss every damn thing. You be in there looking stupid, bro. You don't know what the hell going on, bro. And somebody been around circles all around your dog ass, and you just focus on the surface level, and you can't get nowhere else. I just got finished talking about that on my Patreon. I was like, you can't really manifest your life in the spiritual realm, which you're gonna spend 1/3 of your physical existence on this planet, because the surface level got you all discombobulated, got you all running around in circles. You don't even know what the hell going on. You don't know north from south, east from west. You don't know your head from your ass. And that's because the people who are running things, they manipulating the information that's coming your way. I just try to give y'all a wake-up pill, bro. I ain't trying to red pill you, blue pill you. I'm trying to game pill you, bro. I'm trying to game pill you and just give you this game, bro, so your game can be as sharp as your mind. You just see what's going on. You can see what's going on. I wouldn't recommend nobody getting none of those 50-year mortgages, because 9 times out of 10, there ain't a place on this, especially in the United States, that anybody gonna want to stay for 50 years. It really ain't no place anybody gonna want to stay for 20 years, because neighborhoods change so drastically, bro. I done seen horrible neighborhoods turn into good neighborhoods through gentrification. I done seen good neighborhoods turn into the hood, the slums, the projects through, I guess we call it gentrification, reverse gentrification. I done seen a lot. It ain't one spot on this country that I would recommend anybody just plant their flag and stay there for 50 years. You gotta take that shit year by year. You gotta see how it's looking this year. You gotta see how it's looking next year. You gotta see how it's looking in a 5 year. You gotta be mobile, man. You gotta be mobile, bro. And I'm not against owning land, owning real estate, and renting your stuff out, and making your money that way. But as far as somebody planting themselves somewhere for 50 years, that's crazy. One city, one state, 50 years, that's ludicrous. I wouldn't recommend nobody do that for 10 years, to be honest with you, bro. It's too much world to see, too much earth to see, too much life to experience. You sitting up playing yourself, going to work, coming home 50 years straight. They know that'll literally drive the average person crazy, bro. The banks is literally in the renting business, and they're disguising it as 50-year mortgages. That's all that is, bro. And you know they're gonna have sliding mortgages on your ass, so you ain't gonna be able to lock nothing in for 50 years. See, a lot of people don't understand that about mortgages too. A lot of people don't understand that. If you go watch some of them post-pandemic videos, when them people was getting in them houses, they were paying like $1,500 a month. They're like, oh yeah, I could do this for 30 years. And then they look up, and then they shit them balloon to 4,000. Man, them folks know what they doing, bro. They know they doing better than the people who they doing it to. That's why they can do it. That's why it's called macking, bro. That's why it's called macking. But hey, man, y'all be cool, man. Free game.